Welcome to your very first heels class. My name is Robyn and this is Heels Hiya. I will now walk you through the steps that I think you should know before you sign up for your first heels class and you actually go and take the class. I will now explain to you what you should expect, how you can prepare yourself for the class, and what you should do in the class. So, first things first, I will give you a general idea of what heels could be. If you come to my class, these are the things that you can expect for sure. But if you're taking somebody else's class, it might not be the case, or please take the information with a pinch of salt. What is heels? Heels is a commercial dance style, meaning that we use different techniques and we pull inspiration from other dance styles, such as jazz dancing, modern, even ballet, Latin dance styles, and street dance styles, among others. The teachers will usually tell you what kind of heels you will be doing in the class. So if you come to my class, I use pretty much jazz technique. Old school jazz is what inspires me to do heels. However, I do put a commercial twist into it, but that is very much down to the teacher and what is their knowledge in dance and their technical background and what they want you to learn in their classes. Now that that's been said, you are considering booking your first heels class. Well, if you are unsure of the style that the teacher is teaching, you can go to their social media accounts. You can look up their Instagram, if they have YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and see what their dancing is like, see what they're doing, and I would think that that's what you could expect if you go to their classes. You can always message the teacher, especially if you're considering coming to my class. It's fine to message me and let me know that you're coming so that I can be there for you and support you taking this new journey of heels dancing. So how should you prepare for a heels class? I've listed 6 things that you should consider preparing before you go take your first class. So you have now decided whose class you're going to go to, who's the teacher, and you have booked yourself in. Amazing. So for your first time, I think you should be on time and rather be too early than definitely too close to the time for the class to start. This way, if the teacher is hanging out, you have the chance to say hi to them if you want to, and you allow yourself to ease into the space, ease into the studio. If there is a reception, the people are there to help you. They want to serve you. They want you to feel comfortable and welcome, or at least they should. So being on time will allow yourself to actually get into the space, feel comfortable, and know what you're walking into. You're going to be less nervous if you're on time rather than running too late
and not knowing what to expect and just getting anxious about everything.
So yes, be on time. Number 2 is attire. I think you need to wear clothes that you can dancing so that they're not restricting you, or you don't need to worry about the clothes, like, if the straps are falling off or if your butt cheek is hanging out, unless you want to wear clothes that you feel comfortable dancing in and be confident dancing in. If you feel that you look good in your clothes, you're gonna feel more confident when you're dancing. So first and foremost, wear clothes that are comfortable to move in, but choose the clothes that you feel confident. Also, because heels is a commercial dance style, and I emphasize the commercial being a dance style that you would perform on TV, at gigs, concerts, in front of people. So yeah, that is the vibe that you're walking into. I'm not saying that you need to look dolled up. Like, I don't wear makeup into the classes, like I just don't want to, and I have no reason to do that. I don't do my hair when I go to class. Yes, I make sure that it's not going to be in my face, and especially when it used to be longer, I would actually clip it back. But I'm not going to style myself for the class. If you want to do that, you absolutely can, but it's not a must. If you see people that are looking just, they have dressed to impress in the class, I'm saying you don't need to do that. Do whatever makes you feel good and confident, because that's how you're going to enjoy the dancing the most. Do not have gum in your mouth when you come to the class. Every time I get surprised how many people think that they can take a dance class with a gum in their mouth. I'm shocked. Well, for 2 reasons. Is that you could potentially choke with the gum, and 2, I think it's distracting. It might distract yourself, it might distract the teacher or the other people in the room. So it feels weird when people are eating something while they're dancing. And yes, if I'm teaching, I don't want people to have gum in their mouth, just because I don't care how fancy your entrance is. If you would choke and your insurance would cover that. Obviously, that is not the situation that we want to face in the dance class. Like, I don't want to perform the what's the name of it?
It's called the Heimlich maneuver.
To me, as a dance teacher, it would be a nightmare to perform the Heimlich maneuver. So, no gum, period. Water bottle. If you're used to moving and dancing, you probably know this, but you need to hydrate before you go and take the class. But do bring water when you go to the class with you. So it takes somewhere 2 to 3 hours for the water to absorb into your body. So avoid dehydration, because actually what happens when we get dehydrated is going to affect the whole body. One of the first places that you're going to feel the dehydration is actually with your balance. Your balance is going to decrease when you get dehydrated. I do think that that's something to take seriously, especially when we are wearing the heels. And if that's something that you're not experienced in, most likely when you start off, you don't have strong ankles unless you have done something else where you build that strength. So especially if you're feeling dehydrated, the risk of getting injured will increase, but also you're actually gonna have a lack of focus. Like, you might find it more difficult to focus if you're dehydrated. So do drink loads of water before you come to the class, and just, have water with you, because you don't want to feel thirsty or dehydrated. Well, if you come to my class, you can take the first time without the heels, because maybe you don't know if you actually like the style, and I don't want you to go and waste your money getting shoes that you may or may not use. I think it's worthy that you go to try it out. If you have heels that you think you can dance in, you can take them with you as you go to the class, but if you come to my class, you can just do it bare feet for the first time, and then we can see from there what you should do, what should you invest in. Because I have multiple pairs of heels. I tend to purchase mine from Hiya. I will leave the link in the description box. I have also done some shoe reviews to give you an idea what you're putting your money into. But yeah, these were closer to 100 euros, which is a lot of money, and if you're not going to use the shoes, it's going to go waste. I think it's fine for you to go and try out the class, especially if it's beginners. For beginners, I think that's allowed. If you go to intermediate, well, first of all, I don't think you should jump right into it, but in that level of class, I expect people to have heels, because that is the point of the style, to practice it in heels. However, the shoes are just a tool for the dance style. I consider it to be a commercial dance style, whatever that means, making a fusion of different dance elements. And even though the shoes are the most important tool, it's just a tool. Like, you can do the movements without the shoes, and that's called technique. But yes, you can do the style without the shoes. Take it from there after your first class. So no stress, no panic. It's just a tool. You can definitely take the class even though you don't have the fanciest shoes. Another thing that you should have with you when you go to the class is knee pads if you have sensitive knees. So in heels dancing, it's common that you go down to the floor and you put some weight onto your knees. So if your knees are very bony, or you feel like they're sticking out, or they're sensitive, you're not used to it, do bring knee pads. You can always take them off if you don't want to use them, but it's better to have them than not to have them. So those were 6 things that you should prepare when you go to the class. So here are the 6 things that you could expect when you are in the class or after the class. So when you are in the dance class, ask questions. You can ask them if you don't understand something or you feel that you need extra support. The teachers are there to teach you, or at least I am. Like, I never mind that people want to ask me something. Because as a teacher, you can't read people's minds. Like, that's just not possible. So I can't know what you're thinking. So I always prefer that people ask questions, and then if the teacher says no more questions, or look first and then ask, or whatever, don't take it personally. It's just everybody has a different way of working. They want to teach you in their way. But if you come to my class, you can ask as many questions as you want before, during, or after the class, because it's part of the work, and I do it because I want people to learn to do those things, and I want to build a community. So at least, yeah, that's how I roll. Number 2, acknowledge acknowledge the other people in the classroom. If you have eye contact, you can smile, you can say hi. If your eyes meet, you can smile and say hi, and you're there together. So especially if you feel nervous and you feel like you don't want people to see you, but just be open and see the other people, and that might help you to feel more comfortable in the class, because everybody's there together and most certainly people are only concerned about themselves. Usually you do the warm-up without the heels, or at least in my classes, and if somebody else says something differently, sometimes that happens, that teachers are like, okay, we're just gonna start straight on with the shoes, then I would follow as they say, but usually you expect to start the class without the heels. Number 4, don't panic if you don't get everything on the first go. You are there to learn, and it's just accepting that and being humble about it. If it's your first class, you can't be a master in it. It's a place of learning. You are exactly where you need to be, and doing your best in each situation, in each moment, is just what you need to do. Don't worry about anybody else doing anything else. They're there to learn as much as you are. If you can't remember the choreography or the patterns, or you can't hold on to your lines, whatever it is, don't worry. It's a process and everybody struggles with that, like I still do after 20 years of dancing. Filming, this is an interesting one. So some people won't allow you to film in the classes. Some people will let you do that. Some teachers will film the class for you and then you get the footage afterwards. If you come to my classes, I think filming is a good way to learn, so you can, have a recording of what you did and go home and watch it and see what you can do differently. Or when you come to the next class, you can go over the material, and then maybe that helps you within the learning process, that you don't start from zero when you go to the next class, especially if you're continuing with the same choreography. You can look at the video and go over it before the class, and that will speed up your learning process, I promise. If you do decide to film, I think there is always this partnering up thing going on in the classes. So if somebody asks you to film, I think is very nice and is a good way to get to know people, to do that favor for them. So then you can expect them to film you, or you can approach people and say like, hey, could you help me to film this one? And when you're filming, try to be as discreet about it as you can. So do not disturb other people, don't get into their ways. There are many people, and if you're one of them, I'm that person as well. Like, I don't always want to be filmed because I'm also neurodivergent. So if somebody's filming me, I actually end up not being present in the moment. If it's a choice, then I will be practicing a different skill. But if I'm aware of the fact that somebody's filming me, I don't necessarily work on the things that I want to work on in the classes, and that for me is a choice. And I think everybody has the choice to either be on the video or not to be in the video. Usually I divide the groups into people that want to be filmed and people who don't want to be filmed, or I even split the classroom in halves. Maybe this half, filming, this half filming, when we would do the choreography in groups. But yes, if you post the video, always tag the choreographer, give them credit. If you have other people in the video and they want to be tagged, I think it's very lovely to tag them as well. But yeah, that's just a common courtesy that goes on in the dance classes. If you come to my classes and I'm just teaching the choreography, I don't want you to film from the start. I will let you know throughout the class when it's okay to film. You can always ask the teacher, is it okay that you film? After the class, you probably are gonna get sore. You're gonna have pain the next day or the day after. So what you can't do is stretching. I recommend that you go home and you do some stretching and actually like massaging. Like you can go on your legs and massage the muscles. Taking a bath is really good because that's how you're gonna, if you have a sauna, you can go to sauna and do it in there. This is my favorite tool ever, like besides the heels. So it's a golf ball and it's really hard. So what I do is that I have the ball on the floor, usually bare feet, or you could do it with the socks, and you just roll through your foot. So that's most certainly where people usually tend to feel pain, or when they get sore, is that their muscles aren't strong enough just yet on the sole, on their feet. And it's really good to open up those, because we have so many little muscles like going on in the feet. So just to massage those open when you get home. It's also a lovely warm up before the class. Warm up the muscles before you put the heels on or even take the class. So I always carry a golf ball with me or some kind of a ball. Then another thing is a bit more expensive. Then I have this one, which is a foam roller, and there are different ones. Some are more sturdier and some are more softer. This one has like small spikes in them, some do not. So what I just do, I roll over the big muscle groups that I have in my body, because that's gonna speed up the recovery process. And especially if you feel sore, that's something that you should do. If you feel sore and it's like really painful, just don't put too much pressure on the muscles. That is such a good way to open up your body. So if you're now considering purchasing your next pair of heels, I recommend that you watch this video where I review a pair of heels from Hiya. So maybe that might be something that you're into. Leave me a comment down below if there's something else that you think I should have added to this list, or if you did take your first heels class and you actually found out something else that I didn't mention. I would love to hear about it. Ciao!